Well, I don't come into that at all. I mean, this guy's one of the best defensive coaches in the game, and when they're motivated to play and they really want to play, they can really play it, and they're going to be tonight.
Nick, what does good defense look like in 2018 in the NBA in terms of scoring so high? What are the benchmarks for a good defensive night?
I mean, it's still the same, right? You got to really take care of transition. I think pace is up a little bit, right? People are really trying to spread the floor in transition and attack quicker. I think, again, you're still trying to do the best you can to limit field goal percentage. Best you can contesting shots and then limiting to one shot. A lot of the same things. It's just a little harder with more shooting, more space, more pace, all happening out there at the same time.
Is it strange to look up at a scoreboard and see that you've given up 110, 112 points and feel good about how you guys play defense?
Yeah, I don't really get into the number. Mm-hmm. It really isn't about the number. It's about, do I think our guys are engaged? Is everybody committed to playing? Is it a fast-paced game? I don't really care most of the time if somebody's got 110 or 115, as long as we got 120 or 125. You know what I mean? So the number, again, the big numbers are more a style of play than they are lack of defense, I think.
How much of an adjustment period do you anticipate there being for DeLon once he gets back out there, or do you think it'll be relatively seamless because he played with a lot of those guys last year?
I hope he's ready to go, right? I mean, I think as anybody that's been off for a couple of weeks, I think, you might have a minute or two to, hopefully it's not too long, because, we just don't really have time for him to have an adjustment period, right? The games are happening and the games are competitive, and we're throwing him out there because he's healthy, and we're throwing him out there because he's a really good player, and he's a pro, and it's what pros do. They have to be able to come back and be ready to go.
What does he give your second unit?
Well, he should give us a little bit more penetration and passing on the offensive end, and hopefully he'll have his long arms and some passing lanes and knock some passes away.
Has that been missing a little bit with that group?
I think so. I think so. I'm hoping there's some other guys on that group that'll benefit from him drawing defense and getting the ball out to him. C.J. Miles would come to mind, right?
Defensively, what are you seeing that you like from what you guys have been able to do when you clamp down?
Defensively?
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of things, right? I think the main thing is that it looks like we want to play it, right? Like there's some stretches in the game where you look out there and guys are pulling up, they're getting ready to go and play it, and that's going on pretty good, right? I've had a timeout or two in some of the games where there's been some lapses, right? And those just I don't want those to happen, right? I think there was a moment in the game the other night that they scored 6 straight times, which followed a timeout, which our guys were reminded, we haven't given up 6 straight buckets in summer league or preseason, or and now we're going to decide to do it now, and it's more like, and it's 3 or 4 guys are pretty engaged, and somebody makes a mistake, and that's enough to cause it, right? So we're just trying to get the 5 guys out there, whatever combination it is, to lock in, do the best they can. We don't expect to stop every time, but we do need to, if they score one, we need to buckle down and get a little better to try and stop the next one. And we do look for runs of stops, right? We talk about consecutive stops, right? We like 6 consecutive stops, not 6 consecutive scores, right? So that's we talk about that.
How much of a benefit is you've seen Kawhi early in games just kind of blow up a dribble handoff or make a steal or deflection early, and how contagious is just his focus on that?
I think it is a lot. I think contagious. I think, again, I've always liked it when you've and this is, again, what our second unit used to do last year a little bit, when your lead guard or your point guard is out there picking up full court or pressuring, those other guys back there are watching that, and all of a sudden they start getting down and getting ready to do the same thing. A little bit to your point, it's nice when you see one of your best players get down and start playing defense, and the other guys on the floor follow suit.
Obviously, it's super early. I think you guys are bottom third in pace, albeit with a pace that would probably lead the league 5 years ago. Are you fine with how quickly you're playing? Are there any factors that are slowing you down?
Not really. I think I don't really have any concerns. I'm pretty happy. I thought we got out of the gates a little bit more the other night. I think again, it's some of the teams we played a little. Cleveland's historically slow, but we're trying to play faster. Boston's pretty slow pace too, right? So it's pretty early to be worrying about any of that stuff, or ever worry about it, to be honest.
Norm, and has he kind of forced his way into the rotation, even with DeLon back? Is there a way to still get Norm minutes?
He'll get in there tonight. Yep, he'll be in there. I said that yesterday. Leave it on me to worry about it. I haven't figured it out yet, but I still got a few hours to think about it.
What do you do with Jimmy?
Jimmy Sand? Oh, Jimmy.
He's doing pretty good.
Jimmy's got a bad back, actually. We need to take care of him. Well, Jimmy Butler is, a premier scorer in this league. He gets to a lot of spaces because of his strength, and they run a lot of really good actions for him to get him the ball in the places he can use it. As with any scorer, we want to limit his touches a little bit, although that's hard to do with his strength as well and the way they screen to get him open, but we want to try to take a few away. And then we got to try to keep him out of those spaces he loves to get in, and just, again, hope we can disrupt his rhythm a little bit. Like as you guys know, he's a guy that can score 6 times in a row. Right, we may have to have some different people go at him. We may have to have a couple different coverages to throw at him, and again, that's part of the game as we read it. What are we going to throw at him?
Do you go with Kawhi right out the game against a guy like that, or do you
Yes,
save it for situations?
yes, that's why we got that guy. Put him on that guy.
When it comes to the free movement and the higher scoring that we've seen early in the season here, has it changed how you coach defense?
Yes.
And how does that work exactly?
Well, I think the biggest thing is they're really trying to stop the holding, right? And I know it's like frustrating for everyone, but what they're doing kind of makes sense, right? Like you're a stationary guy on the elbow here, and the ball's not even being dribbled across half court. We used to just tell them, hold on. Well, they're telling you, stop doing that, right? And it's frustrating because the whistle blows and nobody even knows what's going on. But I was sitting here holding this guy, and they don't want you to grab and wrap your arms around people and hold them. So, well, there's the first thing we told them to stop doing that, right? Because they're going to call it, and they are calling it, right? So we've got to find ways to still be physical, right? Still be physical, right? Without wrapping our arms around people, right? Right? You okay?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just giving an example. Just giving an example. But so it changed. You got to be a little less holdy and a little less handsy, but you still got to try to be a physical, and it's not easy, right? It's not easy. I think you got to. We're still trying to work on it, and it's like a lot of this stuff. Like, they told us they were going to do it, and we went and played a preseason game. We had 100 fouls called, both teams, right? And then I was like, quick, let's get the refs in here to show us the preseason video so they can explain it to the guys, right? So we did. We had them come to Utah before the next preseason game and show them, and you're still like, are they really going to call all this stuff? And then they are, and I guess we've got to adjust. I think it's making it hard on them as well. I think it's making it hard on them to enforce some of this stuff. But again, they're trying to go. Let's go with what do you call it? No tolerance or zero. Like zero tolerance, so we can get used to it.
And then the flip side now is, do you think they need to, or will they start policing offensive players who are in turn being physically to create space?
I don't know. They are on any of the. I'll go over here. They are on any of the wrap. When you go down into low post and there's somebody behind you. You wrap. It's a different kind of wrap, right? But it's still a 2-hand wrap. They are calling some of that. I don't know. I still don't see much of the the pushes and creating space stuff being called yet. I think again, I don't know. I don't make the rules. If you want my opinion on what prompted it, I think the playoffs got too I'm not sure what the word is. It just got too physical. There was too much there just wasn't enough freedom of movement, right? There was just every move everybody was making was just like, and the guys were like, couldn't go anywhere. And I don't know, it just made it too clunky. How about that? Made the cutting and moving too clunky.